All over on the African continent, after all the build-up and the hype, it sadly ended in disappointment for Orlando Pirates in Nigeria last night when they went down 5-4 on penalties to RS Berkane in the CAF Confederation Cup final. The match ended 1-1 after extra time, with Nkosi Lorch the hero and the villain after scoring their lone goal, but then also missing his penalty kick to hand the Moroccans the cup. Now joining me now to discuss the loss is a man who's very familiar with the Bucs, former coach Roger Dessar. Roger, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
Hi to everybody. Great to be with you.
I mean, it's a sad day to talk about it, but obviously a hugely disappointing loss for Pirates. As somebody who's obviously a current coach and a former coach, just what went wrong off the top of your head right from the off?
No, I thought they had a great campaign. I think we can't put it down to one penalty miss. I think it would be very unfair and injustice to blame a player for that matter. And it goes like that. That's the way the game is made out, and those are the rules. And there's always that risk factor that if you don't take your chances and you go to penalties, sometimes the team that was the lesser team, which in this case it was the Moroccan team, they come out victorious. And, it's very unfortunate. I thought they did enough to win it. Obviously just not score. But yeah, it's a sad day for Pirates, but I think, and I hope they build on from here.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, putting goals in the back of the net really is a bit of an issue, and it has been an issue for the Sea Robbers kind of recently, I would say. Do you think that's a personnel problem up front? Maybe it's just the system not working? Are they going to have to make any changes, at least in terms of, bringing in strikers in the off-season?
No, I think it's not just Pirates. I think every club's got a problem putting the ball in the back of the net. That's why it's only this season that you're getting a top goal scorer in the domestic league that's going to reach 20 goals. It's been a while till we had somebody that gets so many goals, and I think it's a worldwide problem as well. It's not just a South African problem. I think I was based in Egypt recently, and they have similar issues about getting a good quality striker that's going to bag you 20 goals a season. And Pirates are no different. They're always looking for a better one, but they're special players, and they don't just fall off and grow on trees. They're very difficult to find, and they're very good ones. That's why they earn a lot of money, the ones who do score a lot of goals. So it is a problem, but not just Pirates. I think it's everybody, especially in the South African League, that's looking for that, that prolific goal scorer. And that sometimes makes a massive difference. I mean, and last night was obviously the difference. I thought their play was very good. Up till the final third, it was just a question of putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, now look, kind of in that vein, a lot of papers this morning I've seen have suggested that, perhaps harshly, maybe it's time for Fadlu Davids and Mandla Kazi to make way for somebody else. Do you think maybe it's too early to make that call? Do you think we have to wait until the end of the season, maybe even next season?
Well, I think, especially in South Africa, I think we're pretty quick to pull the trigger on the coaches all the time. I think, we want instant success, and we forget that, for example, in our Premier League, there's 16 clubs and only one club can really succeed. And then we stand the risk of firing all the others. And it's like that all over the world, unfortunately. There's got to be a longer term plan and give opportunity to these coaches to continue working. And hopefully they can come up with the goods and develop a culture and a team and a squad that starts challenging consistently. So, yeah, it's very harsh, when you start judging, the performance of a coach on a penalty miss. Had they scored the penalty and won it, the heroes. But because the one individual misses a penalty and the opposition goalkeeper makes a good save, we start blaming a coach. A little bit unfair and very harsh, I think. I think we've got to think a little bit, more cleverly and look at the future and plan ahead.
Last question I need to ask you. We need to wrap up. But just quickly, where to here from Pirates? Obviously, it's a massive outside chance, but they could still mathematically finish second. Now, as a coach yourself, how do you back that team to get back on their feet for that final run-in of just a couple of matches?
Well, I thought, at the beginning of the season when I saw their squad, I honestly thought that they would be challenging. I thought that if there was one team that could challenge Sundowns would have been Pirates. I thought their personnel looked pretty good. They looked pretty stable and well-structured. So I honestly thought they were going to be the team to chase Sundowns and hopefully, take them off the top. So it didn't happen, and I think they definitely have the players to do it next season. I think they know that they've got to strengthen here and there, of course, like all the other clubs. And hopefully they can improve on those few positions. And, of course, that prolific goal scorer. And once they get that right, I think they will be there, and thereabouts. I think that's why I said, I certainly hope that they build on from here and get better, because there were a lot of positives last night and leading up to last night.